All right, so I have completed Dead Island 2. And I must say, I loved every second of it. So, and I am so delighted that you actually get to come back into the game because your character decides to stay. Otherwise, how would you be able to complete quests and stuff, right?
Hey, welcome back. Guess you haven't escaped yet.
Trent's got a mission.
Not
Cool.
yet. Looks like I'll be around a while longer.
That's right. We're going to
Join
be
the
a while.
club. Membership includes daily access to the Trent Special Blend. Act
Ooh,
now while supplies last.
sweet. Yeah, this has been such a treat. I have loved every freaking second of this game. Like it. Oh my gosh! And there was some really tough boss fights, man. That was good. That was good. Like, um, the end of the story. Again, it wasn't terrible. I didn't hate it. It's a zombie. It's a zombie story. You know, it's a kind of a story you'd find in a zombie apocalypse. I really like the characters. Um, the melee play in this game is, oh my gosh, mwah, chef's kiss. The guns feel good to shoot compared to Dead Island 1. This just all feels great. Like, I am so glad. Like, I got the special edition because I can't wait to see what story DLC content, you know? Like, can we go on searching missions? Like, you can in this game. Like, you can go look for people, get an idea of what happened to them. Uh, I would love more of that. I hate to say it, I hate to use the R word, but I would like to see repeatable quests in this game. Like, you have like a mission board, and missions randomly pop up, and you go out there and do your thing. I mean, cause uh, Helle is such a fun zombie playground. It's really fun to to hunt zombies in this game. Um, yeah, gunplay is fantastic. The melee combat's great. The different types of mods that you can have for your weapons so freaking wild. Like, it's amazing. At first, I was a little put off by the skill cards, but you know what? I I don't have a problem with them because I got to thinking about like Dead Island 1 and the skill tree, and I remember having to spend 2, 3 perk points just to get to something I wanted, something I really wanted, you know? And so it seems like Dan Buster decided that, you know, they weren't sure how to put a meaningful skill tree in the game. So they let your character level up through simply leveling up. You become stronger and better at what you do simply by leveling up your character. And then you get these perk cards that allow you to be extra saucy out there in Zombieland, right? I didn't know how I was going to feel about these cards, and at first I was put off by them, but you know what? I would rather have this than a skill tree that's full of meaningless perks that I have to trudge through just to get to what I want. So I can respect this. This is not terrible. Um, Again, like people complain that, oh, the game's linear and it's too slow paced. I don't know what game you are playing. This game is not slow paced at all. Okay. A lot of people are guilty of simply wanting to be bored with the game and not liking the game, so they play it in a really boring way. They slow hitting zombies, you know, using these piddly basic weapons they find in the world. You know, they don't care about their loadout. They don't try to care about their loadout. They just they just grab whatever they can, and then, you know, they get disappointed and bored when they're not having fun. There is fun to be had if you wish to play this game. But if you don't want to play this game, you're not going to have any fun. You can totally sit there and just kind of smack zombies around and then complain because it takes too long to kill them. You know, they don't care about their characters. They don't care about their weapon loadout. They're just there recording themselves playing a video game they really didn't want to play. I don't see where um, I don't see where their criticisms are founded. Um, if you don't want to play a survival zombie game, beat 'em up brawler zombie game that doesn't take itself to, like, you want a serious story, there's plenty of zombie games with a serious story. This doesn't try to do that. And they're a dime a dozen. Open world, taking themselves too serious zombie games. They're a dime a dozen. Tell me I'm wrong. But yeah, this has just been a well-balanced experience. There's not I haven't done all the side quests, which is why I'm back in the game, right? Uh, but I plan on doing as many as possible because I want to see how many side quests really uh, are really worth your time. As in, it's not an escort mission like you find in the first game, like the side quests that turn out to be an escort mission, and you end up bleeding resources just trying to get this individual where they need to go because you have to protect them while they're slowly walking like they got poop in their pants. I don't miss missions like that at all. And if I encounter any of those missions in this game, I'm not going to do them. So we'll see, because there's a lot of side content I can engage in with this game. I'm looking forward to every second of it. The end gets pretty hairy as you follow Emma and Sam B to meet what's his name, Patton? The helicopter pilot. Things get really hairy, and if you're not ready for it, you're gonna hate it. Like, so be ready for it. It kind of reminds me of like when you get to the prison area of the first game, everything gets pretty hairy. So you gotta come stacked and packed if you're gonna take that challenge on. This game is so pretty. Oh, it's disgusting. I had very few bugs with this game. Once in a while, I'd have like a zombie clip through a physical object. Very rarely. I fell through the map one time. Uh, there was a moment where I thought that certain areas weren't opening up for me because they were glitched. Come to find out, I just hadn't finished finding the electrical box I needed to smash because there'd be like 2 or 3 of them and not one. So that wasn't really that wasn't really like a glitch of any kind. That was just me. If I could criticize one thing, I feel like the sound design, they skimped on the sound design. Like this right here, too many moments of just it's really quiet and all you hear are zombies. You know, we are isn't this Venice Beach? We're in Venice Beach. Like, I feel like every area that you load into should have its own atmospheric noises and its own, like, little musical scores floating on the wind, you know? That would be great. But alas, you don't really get that unless you're in combat. That's a bit disappointing, but nothing that breaks the game for me. I just wish they would have worked a little harder on their sound design. I had the same criticism with a game like Dying Light 2, which you're in the downtown area and you're running down the street and it's super quiet. You hear like zombie noises and you'll hear the creaking of skyscrapers. But that's it. I look back at Dead Island's sound design, man, that was a feast, a horrific feast for the ears. And I'm a little disappointed that we didn't quite get that with the second game. But yeah, like some people are not going to like this game. This game is not for everyone. It's not. This game is absolutely for the Dead Island fans. Those of us who have sunk 200-300 hours beating our heads against the controller, trying to get our playthrough just right, you know, trying to challenge ourselves, you know, with a game that was very janky. This game, there ain't no jank. Like, some people complained about the combat, and I would, again, it comes down to they want to be bored and they're not happy with the game. They don't want to be happy, they don't want to like the game, so they just play in a really boring way and complain that the game is boring, right? The game is repetitious. The game gives you free reign to change up all kinds of things. Even if, like, you can even you can alter your character, make them more zombie than human. I opted to keep Bruno as human as possible because he's my baby boy, and I want him to stay good and wholesome and sweet. I'm planning on playing a Carla run at some point. I might opt to make her more zombie than human, just play around with the autophage stuff. And I think that's really neat because I feel like they borrowed that from the game Prey. Prey was a cool game, by golly. Another game that, you know, loads you into maps, right? Different sections of the space station. And yeah, I don't mind games like this at all. I think it's a great idea, and I wish more developers would do it. And they would probably be able to turn out a more polished game for it. But you know, people are like, developers are still stuck on that open world stuff, and they really don't like to experiment with games like this a whole lot. You know, with the whole load the player into this map, that map. You know, they don't want to do that anymore. Most of them don't, and yeah, there's something very, very nice about like getting into a map and seeing all the environmental storytelling, and like everything looks just really good and crisp, and yeah, I think developers could learn a lot. They could learn a lot from what Dan Buster Studios did here. Okay. If you're looking for an action game with zombies in it, this is not that kind of game. If you're looking for a zombie game with some really fun action in it, this is a good game. If this game did not appeal to you at all before release and you weren't interested in it, do not spend $70 on it. Okay. This game is better suited for gamers like me, and I know there's a lot of gamers out there like me who have been waiting for a game like this to come out ever since we were teased with Dead Island 2, right? There's a lot to compare here when it comes to Dead Island and Dead Island 2. I did find it funny how some YouTubers would go on and they would act like Dead Island is like superior to this game, and then the more you listen to them talk, the more you realize they just watch YouTube videos. They didn't actually play the game. Just the escort missions alone in Solo, right? Am I right? Come on, fist bump, my brothers and sisters, right? And if you actually were unfortunate enough to have the definitive edition on PS4, you had to the mission where you had to get the gas tanks and drive it to the boat, right? Remember that, where there was a glitch and the visors were down in the trucks, so you basically had to drive through blind in the city to get the gas back to the boat. Yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah. And of course, every time you die, you lose money. And so many missions were balanced toward co-op because the game expected you to be in co-op, so you just had to skip a lot of side content in Dead Island because of that. So you didn't even get the full experience, right? This game is So well balanced. It doesn't matter if you're playing in co-op or if you're playing in solo. I think that Dam Busters made the right call by making this a 3-player Slayer game, because I'm here to tell you, any more than that and this game would be nothing but a gravy train. It would be a zombie game with training wheels. It wouldn't be interesting or nail biting at all if you got 4 people. All right? I mean, I got through this game no problem in solo. When me and little mama play it in co-op, I'm confident it's going to be even easier. If I were to play this with 2 other people, this game will just cease to it'll lose some of its charm. It'll just it'll not be great. And then people complaining that there's not like 4-person co-op. It's like, do you want a zombie survival horror game, or do you just want like 3 people running around holding your hand while you're in a zombie survival horror game? So that way, you don't get too scared. Like, what is it? You know what I mean? I don't know. But yeah, Dead Island 2, man. Huh. What a fantastic ride. It was good from beginning to end. I'm gonna keep Bruno for a while as my solo playthrough, so I can continue to enjoy this fantastic zombie game with my favorite dude, Bruno. Bruno, hey. Um, I made a joke. I was like, Bruno is he's the Aiden that we really deserved, referring to us Dead Island fans who fell in love with Dying Light, and then we played Dying Light 2, and we could see just how far removed it's getting from its horror roots, right? Which happens sometimes. Dead Space and BioShock. Uh, they both have System Shock DNA in them. The game System Shock, right? Dead Space took that DNA in one direction. BioShock took it in a different direction. So in essence, like, you see like Dying Light 2 it has Dead Island DNA in it. It took it in the more like the action genre. And of course, Dead Island 2 shows that Dead Island is still pushing into that more survival horror. It's staying in its lane, right? So I find that fascinating. You see that like Wolfenstein and Doom, Dead Space and BioShock. Game, it happens. You see 2 or 3 games sharing DNA, and then they split off and do their own things. It's cool. It's cool. But when you see that split, you're going to see some players sticking with like certain aspects of that DNA that really clicked with them. So you're going to have your Dead Island people, you're going to have your Dying Light people, and then you're going to have your people that just love it all. So, give me Dying Light, give me Dying Light, and give me Dead Island. Give them both. Gimme, gimme, gimme. And that's cool too. Absolutely. But yeah. Yeah, for me, this has been the zombie experience I've been waiting for a while, and I'm very happy with it. Super, super happy with it. Dying Light, the first game, will always be one of my favorite games. But as it currently stands, Dead Island 2 has become my favorite zombie game. This has all the fixins of Dead Island that I loved forever, and they cranked it up to 10, and they gutted out all the crappy parts of Dead Island that really held it back from being something that you could thoroughly enjoy. Right? So, yeah, absolutely. Anyway, yes, Dead Island 2. Oh, us. Oh, yeah. I don't care what anybody says. This is my game of the year. Hands down. I've been waiting for a game like this since PlayStation 3 was around. Anyway, you all have a wonderful morning, afternoon, or evening, and I will catch you on the flip side. Oh, and that whole Newman thing, huh? Huh? I told you. Newman, huh? Huh? Yeah? Yeah. It's my name, right? That's my name. I'm an Easter egg in a video game. I don't care what anyone says. I don't care. That's my Easter egg. I don't care where they got that word from. All right? Mama Nettie. Nettie Newman. Easter egg in a video game. All right? I'm retconning that whole term right there. Yep. They put me in a zombie game. Woo! Probably not, but it's my story. I'll tell it any way I want. Love you guys. You have a good one.